Unique Divination, and I am here with your new moon and Aquarius reading. It's 3 days late, okay? And it's supposed to go on Patreon before it goes to YouTube viewership, but I've been having a very busy first beginning of the year. So busy where I had to discontinue my reading services because it's just too much, except for the two people that won for the 500 subscriber giveaway. Other information I have to give out: I've deactivated my Instagram accounts for right now, and the two winners had emailed me their email addresses. If you happen to be watching this, please email me at uniquedivination@gmail.com. I apologize that I did not get y'all email addresses before I deactivated my account. However, if I reactivate my account, it takes me a week to close it out again, and I don't want to have that account open. So I've left messages underneath you guys' comments on the subscriber giveaway video. Please contact me because both of you have won a 45-minute reading and a free product of your choosing, okay? So I sincerely want you to have it. Those are the only two readings that I'm doing. And then after that, my services to the public are on hiatus, okay? I've got a lot going on. I'm in graduate school. I've got about 3 classes left, and I have a 4.0 average, and I would like to maintain that. My grade started slipping to a B. I know that might seem like, to some people like, okay, it's just a B, but at this point in my life, wherever I can get perfection and excellence is what I'm going to do. So my education means a lot to me, and I have to give my education my complete focus. Not only that, I feel like I've hit a plateau in my readings. I am getting ready to go into apprenticeship under someone else, and I feel like I need to grow more emotionally, spiritually, and more intuitive wise in order for me to continue to bring the quality of readings that you guys say that I give. This is all from my readings. I'm very humble. I know that I have a gift. I know that, people tell me that I'm very accurate, but nonetheless, I'm humble, and I like to hear that from you guys and not from myself, okay? So I'm on hiatus. The only services that I'm providing is my Patreon account. I have limited spaces for certain type of readings. Depending on the tier that you choose will be the reading that you provide. I have 7 awesome Patreon members at this point that I'm going to give a shout out soon. So Patreon and YouTube. I got to get my YouTube page better. You guys see I've got better equipment. I've got better lighting. I've got a backdrop. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get it, give you guys more quality. For those of you that really have been invested in me since the beginning, if you go back and look at my videos, they were so shitty. I'm so socially awkward, not really good in front of the camera, and this has been a tremendous learning experience for me. So I just want to take the time to thank everybody who supported me on each and any platform. Instagram, I started my business on Instagram, right? But like I said, for right now, I just need to close that out, and I need to focus on school, Patreon, and YouTube, okay? And so with that being said, let me get into my shout outs. So as I was saying, I have a Patreon account, and I provide monthly readings. Depending on the tier you choose is the spread that you will get, okay? And they can either be personal readings. If you have a question, I ask people to get it in by the 15th of each month, before the 15th. If you don't get it in by the 15th, then it becomes a general reading, okay? I have some Patreons that just want a straight general reading, and I have some Patreon members that do have a personal question that they like to ask. And like I said, depending on the tier you choose is the spread. I have a 5-card spread. I have the Celtic spread. The higher up you go, we do a one-on-one video. You get free products. There's exclusive Patreon content and rewards, okay? So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Tiffany F. Thank you for being a Patreon member, and thank you for supporting me. I appreciate you wholeheartedly, okay? Aquarian Alien, she's a new Patreon member. Thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting me. Henna K, Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to me. Yaya Divine, thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to me. Jordan K, thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to me. Umi Says Go, thank you for your support and thank you for subscribing to me. Timakaya N, thank you for your support and thank you for subscribing to me. So that's 7 altogether. 7 wonderful people that I appreciate that allow me to read for them on a monthly basis. I appreciate the energy exchange. And this is the main reason why I'm only really dealing with YouTube and Patreon at this time, because I can kind of gauge the energy exchange. Instagram, for some reason, I've lost a lot of followers. Hey, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Um, I'm not doing exciting things. I'm not half naked, on the gram. I don't wear lavish makeup every day, so I can understand why I don't appeal to certain people. And that is okay, because I'm just looking for the people that are interested in me and what I do. I'm looking for my A-likes, as Wu-Tang would say. And these are people that are like me, that that are like me, where we share some type of similarities, Um, and so, with that being said, thank you to all my Patreon members. Once again, I appreciate you guys to the fullest, and I love you so much. I also want to take this time to thank everybody who has donated to my daughter's GoFundMe account. I'm halfway through paying, right? So the GoFundMe link is still there. And the Patreon link is there underneath the description below. Okay, so all right. So now that I've got all that out the way, I want to talk about new moon in Aquarius. So if you did not do a ritual, that is okay, for the new moon. But we're going to think about some things that the new moon has ushered in for us until the full moon is here, right? And so the new moon deals with bringing things into your life that are going to help you start anew. The new moon is about new beginnings. The new moon is about ushering in things to help you with your transition to your most highest self, right? And so Aquarius stands for higher mind, it stands for intellect, it stands for inclusion of all, and it stands from looking at things from a bird's eye view. It also deals with kind of maintaining our emotions a little bit. So basically, with that being said, the things that we want to work on in our life while we're waiting for the full moon to happen, like I was saying, is let's stop looking at things from a ground view and let's look at things from a bird's eye view. Remember, Aquarius is an air sign, kind of flighty, can't hold it down a little bit, but most definitely the thing that I pick up the most is being able to observe from higher up. When we have a ground eye view, you can't see the whole picture, the whole perspective, right? You can only really see what's from the ground. When you have a bird's eye view, you can kind of see out and see everything around you and kind of see what's going on, right? At a different perspective. So what this also is telling me is that, number one, we've got to learn to take into account other people's perspective and emotions and not just our own. Like I said, Aquarius deals with inclusion, okay? So if you're a person that can be selfish and kind of wants to just think about yourself for the month of February, that's not going to fly. And I'm not saying not to put yourself first, but I'm saying that in certain situations, whether it be at work, whether it be dealing with your significant other, or just people in your close circle, you're gonna have to take things, their way of view, their perspective into perspective, right? Any advice somebody gives you, instead of trying to like dismiss the advice, especially depending on who it's coming from, look at the angle of how they're bringing it to you. Just take a look at the perspective that they bring to you and see how you can kind of incorporate it into your perspective, right? In February, you're going to have to look at other people's perspective other than your own. It's inevitable. You're not going to be able to manifest. You're not going to be able to grow spiritually, emotionally, whatever wise, if you don't start taking people's perspectives into consideration, right? Another thing that comes to mind is having control over your emotions. Um, a lot of us, including myself at times, I'm really good at not letting my emotions get to me, but whenever I'm stressed and I'm anxious and I'm going through things, I tend to lead with emotion instead of with rationality and logic and looking at things in a practical manner. So, most definitely make sure that you're not flying off the handle, that you're not moving through emotion, whether it be fear, anger, bliss, whatever, as far as relationships is concerned, or if you're single and you're meeting people, don't get swept up in somebody because he smells good, he or she smells good, or they look good. Um, you know, let those feelings pass before you continue to engage with that person. All right, because if you're just mystified, if you're just consumed with emotion, you cannot think. Being consumed with emotion is like being drunk, right? You can't control yourself, and it doesn't matter what emotion it is. So that's why I said any situation that happens, whether it be an argument, whether you just met somebody and they swept you off your feet, whether you're going through things at work, instead of blowing up, take a step back, look at everything, look at your side of the story, possibly look at that other person's perspective if you have it, put it together and see what outcome you get from that, okay? No more, you can no longer just look at your perspective and think that you're going to get through life or get through whatever you want to get through, or like I said earlier, even grow, right? And so another thing that I want to point out is that before you can even start looking at other people's perspectives, if you're not happy with yourself, or if you don't know your own self, there's no way that you can start looking at other people's perspectives at all. Okay? And so I see a lot of people. I dealt with this. I grew up in Philly High School. I came from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, 14 years old, moved to Philly. And I was immediately labeled a weirdo, not only because of my name, but because I came from the suburbs, even though I was poor out there. But the environment is different. You know, the accent is different. Um, and so I was just called all these crazy ass, horrible ass names. But at first it didn't sit right with me. Like, why am I being like not included with my fellow black people? What's going on? But over the years, I've learned and I understand that the majority of the population um, is groupthink, beehive think. You cannot have your own thoughts, your own perspective, your own personality, because people are going to they're gonna they're gonna taunt you for it. They're gonna judge you for being you. And so this is something that you're gonna have to work on if you're not used to being yourself, if you're not used to being comfortable with who you are. Before you can even start worrying about taking other people's perspectives into consideration, you have to take your own perspective into consideration. Okay? 2019 is so different from when I was going to school. I was in high school from what, 96 to 2000? Completely different world that we live in. It is okay to be yourself now. The way how the kids dress now, the tears, like I was dressing like that in high school and I got totally killed for it. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm happy and I'm like bitter at the same time. I'm happy that the younger generation continues to be able to express themselves and be who they are. It's just bitter that I was not given that opportunity. I mean, I took that opportunity, but I was scorned in the process. And I continue to support and thank the people that accept me for who I am. Because I've already told y'all that I'm socially awkward and I'm an introvert. Um, but you have to love and accept who you are as a person before you can even start looking at other people's perspectives. That's from the gate, okay? So definitely let's work on accepting ourselves, accepting your authenticity, accepting your truths as to who you are, what you like, what you don't like, the kind of people you want to be around, whatever. Just accept you for who you are and don't be afraid of it, right? So once you can learn to love yourself and be your most authentic self, you shouldn't have a problem entertaining other people's thoughts, perspectives, and ideologies, okay? Honestly, only ignorant people can't entertain other thoughts other than their own. If you entertain other people's thoughts, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to agree with it. You're just entertaining it. You're thinking about it. You're adding it to your thoughts to come to a bigger or better or more thought out conclusion. Okay, so um, let's definitely take that into perspective. So authenticity, own yourself before and own your own truths before you can look at somebody else's perspective. Secondly, the perspective. Instead of the ground eye view, we need to look at the bird's eye view. Stop looking at things from ground level and look at things from the higher level, right? I hear people say, well, my boss, um, everything's not all about you. Because I kind of want to make things about me. And somehow, some way, it's the ego. But I've been learning at work to not just look at things from a worker's perspective. I've been a manager, but I haven't, in the last couple of years of my life, I haven't been a manager in my corporate job. I've been a worker bee. So I've had to get back in that mode of thinking like a supervisor or a manager. Put the worker bee and the manager perspective together and see what I can get out of that or what perspective can I gain, right, from that. So it's not all about us in February 2019 as far as your own perspective. It's about adding to your perspective once you learn who you are as a person. Aquarius also deals with intellect and higher mind. Okay, for those of us that don't like to do critical thinking, this is going to be important in your spiritual development, your emotional development, and your personal growth. Okay, if you don't institute critical thinking into your life, you're going to have an issue. And critical thinking can be applied to all aspects of your life: personal, emotional, work, whatever. In critical thinking, they actually have courses on in college on critical thinking, and these were one of the classes that I had to take. Okay. So critical thinking is the objective analysis of facts to form a judgment. The subject is complex and several different definitions exist, which generally include the rational, skeptical, and unbiased analysis or evaluation of factual evidence. Critical thinking is self-directed, self-disciplined, self-monitored, and self-corrective thinking. It presupposes assent to rigorous standards of excellence and mindful command of their use. It entails effective communication and problem-solving abilities, as well as commitment to overcome native egocentrism and sociocentrism. So critical thinking, and a lot of us need to do this with the media, because a lot of us tend to think that conspiracy theories are not true. All conspiracy theories are not theories, okay? Nonetheless, I don't want to digress, but so to utilize critical thinking in your life, you need to ask questions. And these questions were what we were taught in school: who, what, when, where, why, and how, right? Who, what, when, where, why, and how. If you start applying these questions to things that you ponder in life, you're going to get some deeper answers as opposed to just taking things for face value. Stop taking things for face value. Let's dissect some things a little bit more, whether it be in your personal life, in your relationship. Why am I with this person? Let's do some critical thinking here. Let's stop with the shallow. We got to get a little bit deep. Get deeper into the water. No more shallowness is going to be allowed in order for you to grow in 2019. Okay, so under the full moon, Aquarius is ushering in a higher mind and higher intellect for us. We have to start communicating effectively. Read a book. Learn some more vocabulary words. You know what I mean? Like, let's work our brain, right? When you start working your muscle, your brain muscle, it starts to hurt because It's creating all types of creases and connecting neurons and shit, new paths. When you read and when you learn some new things, when you educate yourself. So pick up a book. I have a coven. You know, it's welcome to all spiritual backgrounds. It's not just about witches and casting spells. It's about all types of stuff: spiritual, emotional work, personal development, shadow work, archetype work. We do all types of stuff in there. Chakra work. We're big on chakra work. For each month, we have a chakra that we work on, and there's affirmations attached to that chakra and other things aligned with it. So if you want to join, please join. I've got a lot of resources, a lot of materials from a lot of different backgrounds: esoteric, occult, um, pagan, witchcraft, African spirituality, like all types of practices. I have a lot of information in the coven. All right, so just hit me up, uniquedivination@gmail.com, if you may be interested in it. So, you know, whether you go back to school, whether you do your own independent research, you need to start reading, you need to start educating yourself, you need to start working that brain, okay? You don't want your fucking brain to turn to mush, right? So, let's make sure that we work on these things until the full moon comes in, right? We all have potential. We all have potential to grow. We all can grow. It's what you want out of life, right? And so take this guide, and let me see. What I will do, I'm gonna pull a goddess guidance card. Gotta bring out a card at some point, right? Irene, okay? And I don't know if you can see it. Irene represents peace. There is no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. Now let me get the little book because she divulges a little bit more. Beautiful Irene. And even though appearances may seem chaotic, I assure you that a higher plan is in action. This all loving power is carrying and supporting you completely. Relax into the arms of divine love and breathe away all cares, concerns, and worries. Put your focus into enjoying and appreciating each blessing. Your gratitude helps you attract even more blessings into your life. Give your cares and worries to heaven. Pray, meditate, engage in peace-enhancing activities such as yoga, sea salt baths, massage, naps, playfulness, and the like, okay? So that is something that I usually usher in to the new moon is peace. So, and that's actually what I did usher in under the new moon in Aquarius was peace. I need a lot of peace in my life because I've got a lot of crazy stuff going on. So that's some goddess guidance. And then let me see what else. I'm going to do a crystal for you. Yes, I am. Y'all like my hair? I took off that wig. My hair is growing, y'all. This is my second set of locks, and I'm very happy with how they're coming out. I will never ever cut my hair again or damage my hair again, man. My locks was down my back, almost to my butt. Just about what, 3-4 years ago? So this is a new journey for me again. Alright, so let me see what I got here. This is a smoky quartz celestial, right? And this is transmutational magic. It's a stone for karmic healing. It opens into different dimensions and brings powerful transmutation, okay? You have a powerful survival instinct and ability to go where others dare not. Transmute the past. Realize that darkness is not evil. Facing your deepest fears turns these into golden gifts. You know that death is only a transformation into another state of being. Take responsibility for your life. Don't let others take control. And that kind of touches on what I was speaking about earlier as far as owning your own truth and your own authenticity, right? Be patient. Much stirs beneath the calm surface. Total transformation is close. It may entail a trip into the underworld. Your shadow becomes your brightest gift. Toxic emotions turn to positive regard. Ground your efforts in the everyday, but retain contact with the higher realms. New moon in Aquarius, what I say, higher mind and intellect. Success comes through dedication and trusting your abilities. Mentors are available. Release yourself from old enchantments. No part of you is evil or bad. Embracing your shadow leads you to healing the hidden and darkest reaches of yourself. And I talked about the coven. We deal with archetype healing. We deal with shadow work healing. We deal with chakra balancing and healing. All of these things are important to help you transition to your most highest self. You cannot grow emotionally, spiritually, or any other way if you do not venture into your shadow, right? I have videos, past videos about the shadow. I may attach it into the subscription below, or you might just have to scroll through my shit. Okay, so let me see. Is there anything else I want to pull? I'm trying to get away from these cards for the most part, y'all, because I know that I can do this without cards. I've been told too many times that I can kind of divinate without tools, and that's what I'm aiming and practicing to do. You know, the physical tools that we use are just a stepping stone. And I've been told this, and this message is for everybody out there who feels like they have strong enough intuition where they can provide guidance and be an oracle for people, right? It's a process. You know, I have all these cards, I have pendulums. I did not feel confident enough until now to just want to talk to you guys based off of the intuition and how I feel about how things are moving, you know, under these moon cycles. So I have a universe has my back card, and when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. So this is the story of anybody's life who is on their spiritual journey. When you think you've given, guess what? You're going to have to give more. When you think you've sacrificed, guess what? You're going to have to sacrifice more. You're going to be stripped down to the bone. All right? But once you surrender to the universe, once you surrender to your spirit guides and your ancestors, and you allow them to do some of the work, things come into play, right? So, with that being said, I'm done pulling cards. Let me know what y'all think about my guidance without the use of tarot. You know, these were some oracle cards here, but I feel really good. It's kind of like a relief to not have to deal with the cards, so to speak. And not that I will never not deal with the cards, because they definitely are an important part of what I do, but I also know that I have very strong intuitive guidance to give to you guys initially. And like I said, the cards were just the beginning platform for that. So this concludes New Moon and Aquarius reading. Please comment, let me know what you think. Sorry for the delay in the video. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so you can get all of the content that I will be dropping in the future. And let me know what y'all think about my lighting in my background. Let me know if it's a come up, if it's good, if it's bad. Let me know, y'all. All right? I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.